All right. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. No bots, no bots. Decline, decline, decline. Yeah, I want faces. I want everybody to turn their cameras on because we have some amazing things to talk about today. And I want to see your faces when you see it. Okay, just kidding. You're fine. Just don't be naked. That's the only rule. Don't be naked or turn on your camera. Okay, so I learned about this super cool cash offers program. I mean, here at EXP, we have a super cool cash offers program, but you have to be certified, and it's kind of daunting, to get the offer in. After you fill out the 9 pages you have to fill out and get the offer. So I was super excited to learn about these guys because number one, you don't have to be at EXP. You could be anywhere, and you can use it as a tool. So when I don't do a lot of cash offer, deals with my clients, but it's a good tool. It's a good tool. So when you can go and market that you have cash buyers for their property on, the internet, they're going to click to find out more, right? And then that's going to get you in the door, right? Number one, they might want to sell, right? So when you go to them, you could be like, okay, well, this is what I could do for cash offers on your home, or we could do this, this, and this and get top dollar for your home. So 99% of the time, you are going to go to market doing exactly what you love and exactly what you're good at, but this helps you get into more doors. So anyway, Jennifer is here and she is going to tell us about this amazing company and get you guys all fired up and ready to go get through more doors.
Thank you. Thanks so much, guys. So the energy first thing in the morning is incredible. So thank you. I went to jujitsu this morning, so I got fired up. Then I showered and got here quickly. So I just want to tell you guys, it has been a pleasure working with Wendy on this. So thank you very much. So as you guys know, there are several cash offer platforms out there. Wendy talked about one that EXP has. Keller Offerings has one. There is also Zoodealio, if you've ever worked with them, just to name a few. Usually they charge you somewhere between $99 and $249 a month. They're pretty expensive as an agent. Some of them also have a transaction fee. Due to our partnership with Wendy, this is free to you guys. So thank you, Wendy, for bringing this to your crew. It's really fabulous when you have leaders who bring things to you that add value and don't cost you any money, because we are real estate agents. I am an agent as well. I do not actively sell anymore, but I will tell you, when I did, everybody had their hand in my pocket. And so I would hold up these giant checks for these commissions I had, do my little dance. And at the end of the day, I made 36 cents, right? Like to pay everybody out. And then taxes at the end of the year, that's down to 15 cents. So I feel your pain. I really, really do. So what we are here at Easy Street is we are a two-sided marketplace. On one side, we partner with agents and agent teams, much like this one. So you guys are actually going to go into your portal. You are going to see Wendy's fabulous logo on there. We've completely private labeled it because of this partnership. She gets to bring it to you. On the other side, we have about 2,800 investors. Our investors are cash investors. Some of them do use things like private money loans, stuff like that. But for all purposes of real estate transaction, they are completely cash buyers. What this enables you to do is put out some cash offer marketing. The largest brokerage in the country, you guys have never even heard of, because they don't even operate in your area of the country. Most of you, I know some of you are all over the country, so maybe, but the largest brokerage by volume is Mark Spain Real Estate. And his call to fame is, I have a cash buyer for your home, right? That's it. 100% of his marketing is, I have a cash buyer for his home. And like Wendy said, what that does is that gets somebody to raise their hand and say, hey, I want cash offers on my home. Why do consumers want cash offers? Well, we know cash is king, right? They come with less restrictions. They close quicker. You don't have to wait on appraisal to come back. The number of reasons why are 25 deep. In my case, I work from home, sometimes 12 to 15-hour days. I have 4 children and 2 dogs. If there's a real estate agent on this call that wants to sell my house with those restrictions, like, please call me. because I don't want to sell my own house with those restrictions. Like, how in the world do you get people in there? How do you keep it clean? When do you show it? So for me, cash offer is really the route that I'm going to go when I sell my house. Luckily, I know 2,800 investors, so it's going to be easy for me. But you guys now know 2,800 investors as well. So what we like to teach new agents to do, and those that are seasoned veterans just getting into cash offers, is we really like them to lean into cash offer marketing. So I often get asked by real estate agents, what's the downside for us? Well, the downside is marketing costs money, right? So if you guys are going to put out cash offer marketing, it's going to cost you money to market this, and you want to make sure it works. And so do we. Adrian, you have your hand raised. Do you have a question?
Yes, this is a great option. I love
Already?
it. I love it. Do you offer, instead of just single family homes or condos or townhouses, do you do land?
We do not do land currently. We are working on some partnerships with some major developers that are looking for some build to rent lots, stuff like that. So in the near future, it is likely something we'll be adding to the platform within the next year. We also are not currently in the DMV, so womp womp. We'll be there
Okay,
very shortly, by the end of the year though, hopefully.
but
So,
at the end, I also do Maryland and Virginia. So my second question to you is, these investors, if I have properties that I'm selling tenant occupied, is that a good option?
yeah, so we actually have a fantastic tenant occupied solution. So if you let us know
Okay.
it's tenant occupied when the lease is up, that sort of thing, we let our investors know. A lot of them would prefer to buy a house with a tenant already placed. So they give the tenant the option to stay if they'd like to. So
Okay,
that
come
is,
to the DMV quickly.
I will get there very quickly. It's actually number one on our list for expansion. We're just trying to figure out the dates for when we can expand to there. You know, the funny thing about the DMV, and if you work in the whole area, you know this, that you have to be licensed in all three, because everybody looks in all three states.
Yeah.
Because they all work in DC, but it's very expensive and very few houses. So they look in Maryland and Virginia, but none of those three areas have reciprocity with one another. So you have to take separate tests for each one.
Don't remind me.
See?
So yeah, because
All
I have three properties. One is got, and the other one is two tenant occupied in Maryland. So this sounds like a good option for me. Thank you.
Yeah, and you know what? Why don't you email those to me? Because I have a lot of investors there that are just not turned on the platform yet. So I may be able to shop them outside the platform for you and see if we can get some buyers.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, guys. So in this world, you guys are going to have access to an agent resources page, and I'm going to show this all to you here in a minute. In that agent resource page, we have every bit of cash offer marketing that you could want, right? We have postcards that you can mail directly from there. We have cash offer landing pages if you want to put them out on your social media. We also have social media posts. We have Tom Ferry playbooks on how to use this in there. So you guys, if you're self-educated, you go in there and you read how to do this and you execute it, this is going to be a way for you to get more listings, right? So you notice I didn't say get more cash deals. So you as the agent, your entire job is to market that you have cash buyers, to get people to raise their hand. We know only about 20% of the time is that cash offer right for them. So when we train agents to use this, I say go use everything at your disposal to bring value, right? So if you live in an area where OfferPad, Open Door, and Homeward operate, you should get all three of those offers. Then you should get ours. On average, we're seeing national 3.9 offers coming in per submission. So you should take our 4 to 5 offers with you and those 3 offers. And that gives you 8 cash offers before you walk in the door to even sign a listing agreement. So you bring your 8 cash offers and you bring your go-to-market plan. How are you going to sell this house on the MLS? Why this is important is because NAR says that consumers go with the first real estate agent they meet 85% of the time. Our cash offer messaging is what got you in the door first. 85% of the time you've already won that listing, but you coming with 8 cash offers and a go-to-market plan changes who you are to them. You go from a real estate salesperson to a consultant. So here are your options. Let's talk about what's best for you and for your family, right? It's a much different conversation than, hey, I'm Joe. I've been in real estate for 5 years. I have a team of people that work with me. Here's how we're going to sell your house. And oh, by the way, I am the sponsor of the local baseball team. That's great, Joe, but what have you done for me lately? Because this person just walked through the door with 8 cash offers. So it really changes the way that you sell real estate. So what we find is we end up buying 2 of 10 houses, about 20%. We hope the other 8 out of 10 houses, you guys get the listing. And that is really the truth. Like we want you to win, because when you win, we win, right? Because if you get back 4 cash offers and they don't go with those 4 cash offers, but it got you in the door first, then the next time you're going to do the same thing. And we are going to transact together. So when you put the deal into our system, and you guys, like, I am going to be 100% honest with you. They upgraded our system yesterday and I haven't used it yet. So we could be learning together. But when you put them into our system, we're going to underwrite that deal to full 3% for both sides, unless you tell us differently. So if you're a 1% list agent, you let us know that, because we're going to put in your commission. You just put it in the additional notes. You could put it in the commission sections, however you do it. And we will take care of underwriting the deal at your stated commission. There are people who actually do 4% on the list side if they do cash offers. You tell us, we underwrite the deal at that. Any questions so far?
Love it.
Okay.
So
So
someone said, what are we talking about? This is Easy Street Offers. It's a cash offer program. It's totally free to agents. It gets you in more doors. All right.
all right, here we go. So I'm going to share my screen, guys. We're going to go through each thing. Feel free to ask questions as we go, because I am happy to answer them. But again, disclaimer, they upgraded last night and I have not been in here since they've upgraded the platform. All right, so far it still looks the same. We're going to enter our address. I'm going to make one up and hope that it's a house, guys. That is not a house.
That is a pile of rocks.
I know, right? But you guys could sell it, so it's fine.
You can use mine if you want.
Let's see. There's a house.
There
Okay,
we
so
go.
this is it. When I click this is it, it's going to scrape the internet for any property details. It's going to pull them through. It's going to, yeah, I'm just as an agent, I just need to verify this. One thing that doesn't pull through well is the garage spaces. So make sure that you know what the garage spaces are. They're going to upgrade that because I've already told them. You're going to tell me who's living here. If there's a tenant, you're going to tell me there's a tenant. You're going to tell me what the monthly rent is when that expires. Or you're going to tell me nobody lives there. And I'm going to ask you, what kind of listing is this? Is it off market? Is it on market? So there is a place for on market listings. So if you have a listing that has gone stale, okay, it's not on the market right now, that is a thing that's happening. Why would you put it on our site? Well, let's say that you've spoken with the owner and they know that they would accept a cash offer that could close quickly. If they got one in, they'd accept 4% under listed price. Then on the next screen in guidance price, you're going to put it 4% less than listing price and let us re-underwrite the property, because we do underwrite the entire MLS every single day. So if the deal made sense, my team already sent you an offer. So at your listing price, it didn't pencil out, is why you wouldn't have gotten an offer for us. But if you know that they'll accept less for a cash offer, make sure you get their permission first. You have a signed listing agreement with them. So you do have a fiduciary or statutory duty, whichever it is. So make sure they're okay with you letting us know. And then you would put it through. Another way you would use this is the very last screen I'm going to show you will tell you how many investors we put it in front of and how many buy boxes they have. So it's just a conversation starter. I sent this to 140 different investors with 260 different buy boxes and nobody made an offer. So let's talk about reducing the price on the MLS and see if we can get more showings this week. It's just a way for you to start that conversation. Make sense? Most of the time you're going to use this as an off market because you don't have a signed listing agreement yet. You're using it to get in the door. You're going to give us any additional notes that affect value. And the reason why you're going to tell us before we do our inspection is because the more information you give us, the more likely we are just to move to close. So we've had one come in last week on Monday, and we closed on Thursday. That is the way we like to do them. So good data in means good offers out. So if you tell me it needs a roof, we're going to underwrite it for a roof. Or if it needs foundation work, let us know. One big thing that people forget is value both ways, right? So if you put gold faucets, tell me. Or if it has views, let us know. That way we can adjust value based on those things. You're going to say it looks good. And then we're going to move to the guidance price. This is where you think they would accept a cash offer or have that real estate conversation. You're going to verify that. And then you're going to put in some photos. So this is where you're like, if I haven't been to the house for my listing presentation, how am I going to have photos, Jen? And my answer is, well, if you are going out to get Open Door, OfferPad, and Homeward, have the consumer send you some photos directly because you're going to need them for those sites. They require photos in order to give you back an offer. For our site, you can request them from the seller. You just copy and paste these links into an email, and then we walk them through step by step like an insurance app. Take 2 pictures of your kitchen, take a picture of your master bathroom. It's very easy. And then you just hit continue. And this is where we tell you, we match 49 buyers with 81 buy boxes. So what is a buy box? A buy box is what the requirements that investor needs in order to buy. So we underwrite under 4 different types of investment strategies. One is your fix and flip, which you all are very aware of, right? This is I buy a house, I do some work on it, I put it back on, and I make some profit. We also do long-term rentals. So these are your landlords. We do short-term rentals, so your Airbnbs. We also have a partnership with Pad Split. So Pad Split is room rentals. They're very big in the Southeast right now. And that's where you buy an entire house and you rent it out per room on a monthly lease, collecting rents weekly. So they also have designers that'll come in and show them how to put in temporary walls, wall-off dining rooms, make them additional living areas and stuff like that. The yields are very high for those, and the customers tend to be TDY nurses or traveling nurses or TDY military is what they see really do rent those rooms. So there is a market for it. Any questions so far before I move on? So this is what it looks like to submit. It's my understanding that with the system upgrades that sometimes you will get instant offers back. But right now, because I haven't seen that whole thing and nobody has told me for sure we're good to go on all of it, I'm going to tell you it's 48 hours. Our investors have a 48-hour shot clock. So they will get it into their platform on their end. They have 48 hours to make their offer. Now we are moving to an automated system where we offer for them. And this is momentarily, it may be working now. Questions? Go ahead. Shout them out.
So, Jennifer, what is a buy box?
A buy box is just, they give us, we put our investors through 126 question onboarding. We fully vet them. And in that process, we ask them a number of questions like bedrooms, bathrooms, size, zip code, what their minimum yields are. So we try and teach our investors to buy based on yield instead of feeling. So it's more like more like it would be if you were trading stock than it is, you know, a family coming in and looking for a home. So if the yield is right, it'll hit their buy box. So we're not like Sunday. We don't send them 1,000 listings. They might get 2 or 3 that exactly match their buy box. So it's easy for them to hit that make an offer button. Or in some cases, we automatically offer on their behalf based on those yields.
Okay, my second question is, for example, I have a property that is it's a condo, it's a gut job. And when we decided on the pricing is for a gut job. Somebody to come in, buy this thing, they can remodel it, sell it, rent it out, or whatever. The price that I have chosen is that. Do your investors come back and haggle?
It does happen just like a regular real estate transaction. So
Okay.
you put in your guidance price, and if the AVM comes out and it matches, then that's what we tell them their suggested offer price is. And for those who automatically offer, they're automatically offering at that suggested offer price. So
Perfect.
they are real people making offers. It's not a machine. It's not an automated thing. You're not getting a range. You are getting real offers. So there is some back and forth. My recommendation to agents is always counter it. If they come in lower than what your thing is, counter back. Let us know what you guys are really willing to go with, because what that does is it starts a conversation with the buyer, and then we can have that more serious, in-depth real estate conversation on our end.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yes.
Sheila.
Sheila. Go ahead,
Sorry.
Sheila. Sorry.
So the question I have is, So are they looking for fixer-uppers mainly?
No, not mainly. So I will say today, in today's environment, our fix and flip are going faster than anything else. So distressed properties are going quicker. And that just has to do with how expensive capital has been. With the last week's events, with the election happening, we are seeing that we are getting long-term rentals are offering again, just not at the rate as fix and flip right now.
Okay, and then you said you are not in the DMV yet?
No, but we will be shortly. So if you have
Well,
properties now, you can send them to my email because we do already have investors lined up that I can push them out to.
okay,
Yeah,
all right, thank you.
of course.
Bonnie.
Did you say Bonnie?
Uh-huh.
No, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. If you have a rental house that you've had and you're in the process of remodeling it yourself and you've gotten an appraisal on it, will they do a cash offer according to what the appraisal is, or just what you want to sell it for?
I don't know the answer to that because they're individual people. They may go with the appraisal, but what is your appraised value? Is it after renovation, prior to
After the renovation? Yes.
They're probably going to want to do it.
She did it both ways. She did before renovations and after renovations.
Give us the information. We'll put it in front of them because it will help them inform their offer price. Now we do bring in 3,700 data points to underwrite these deals for the investors. They are not shooting from the hip by any means. They have so many different data points to inform what their offer price should be. This would just give us more data bringing in the appraisals.
Okay. Okay.
Not a lot of people like to do that, Bonnie. They don't like to appraise their house before they sell it.
The reason we had it appraised is because we were borrowing money on it to finish up the remodeling part of it because we ran out of money because it hasn't been rented in the last 6 months since we started the renovations. And so we had to have an appraisal done on it. And when we bought the house back in, 2 years ago? No, back in 18. It's doubled in appraisal, what we paid.
That is awesome. That is the best way to do it. I love real estate for that reason. Just to plug one of our new partners, guys, if you are questioning a house pricing in any way, shape, or form, we're in a new partnership with True Footage. They're an appraisal management company. They have a new product called Re-Verified. It's $50 for them to have an appraiser look at all of the information and give you a fair deal zone. So it's kind of like, Carfax, it'll tell you if it's a fair deal or not. So the CEO, John Liss, is really incredible to work with. He's we signed partnership with him last week. So just to put it out there, just the way that I'm going to plug Wendy's team for people who are looking to move and shake and have this, I will let you know. It's called True Footage.
Okay, let him know he needs to come to a Tech Tuesday in December.
Yeah, can you put that in the
Yeah, that's freaking awesome.
December. You know what? I will warm intro you to John to set up a Tech Tuesday because I know that he would love to come talk about that product. So if you
that
guys,
would be awesome. Okay.
And can you put that in the text? What his name is?
It's John Liss, Liss. But you guys could go to reverified.com. And that is their address. You can kind of check out their product. But if you have those difficult to price homes or difficult to talk to sellers, $50 is well worth your money.
Right?
And they are an appraisal company. So it's good data and they're going to do a good job.
Wow.
Okay. So let's see what these requests look like and how you're going to use them. All right. So in your portal, this is what your portal is going to look like. These are the addresses you entered. And when you have offers, you're going to see, I'm going to go into this one here with 8 offers. You can see this is a fake property. But in this situation, your offers are going to stand up here. We'll just go into this one for 350 here. This is what they look like. So you get the opportunity to accept, decline, or counter an offer. Now, remember, hit the counter button. If you have an offer, counter it, right? That's the rule in real estate. Don't let it sit. If you don't have another offer on the table, counter it. When you do, another box will pop up. It will be blue and you can edit any of the terms in here. So another really important thing, we talked about if there's a tenant in place. What if there's a seller who needs a flexible closing? What if they want to buy a new construction? They need to wait 120 days. Give us that information. We have investors that will buy those houses and do a lease back. If they need 14 days post-possession, give us that information. I am going to call the buyer, sometimes personally, and I'm going to say, hey, I think we have a deal, but they need 14 days post-possession. Most of the people in our platform that are buying are mom and pop investors. That means they own between 1 and 20 doors. They're not beholden to investors, so they can give us that. So tell us what you need in those additional notes and we'll shop it. Okay. You can also just counter it and put it in here as well. So that is how you work in the platform. We're going to go back to the screen and I'm going to show, oh yeah, go ahead. Question.
Okay, so go back to that screen, like the commission, that's what we're all thinking. That's what we're all thinking about. So it says buyer, like in that counter, it said like buyer agent, listing agent. So so when you're saying that, you're wanting the buyer to pay this or the seller to pay this? Like what
You're getting ahead of me. I'm showing you right now, Wendy.
Okay. So go ahead.
So you're going to go here and you're going to create this side-by-side net sheet. Because remember, you're going to a listing presentation with it. When you do that, you're going to tell me what the commission is. And you're going to tell me who pays it. We're completely compliant.
Okay.
NAR in this regard. Now, going to auto offers, we are actually going to build our commission into their offers and our buyers are going to be paying us the commission. We don't want you to have to go negotiate for our commission. So that is a change we're changing with all of our buyers. And we're changing that very soon within the next couple of weeks. So it could be in the next couple of days. I don't know when product is rolling that out, but right now you can toggle who pays it, right? And you can tell us what the commission is. You can't change our commission because we have a BPA signed with our buyer that we are making 3%. However, that comes to us, either they pay it or it's partially paid and they pay us the other part. But we already have that signed with all of our buyers.
That's cool.
Yes. Yeah, we try to make sure that, you know, we make it as easy as possible for the agents because there's a lot of news surrounding this right now, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to put your move option as MLS, and then you're going to put in an iBuyer because you're a really good agent. You're going to go get Open Door, Offer Pad, or something like that. And then you're going to tell me what that seller mortgage payoff is. We're just going to choose a number right now and hit submit. And what it does is it generates this cash offer site for you guys. So you can actually print this. You can share it with them via email. I always say print it because what you do when you print something is you leave it and they leave it on their kitchen table. Like me, you leave it on that kitchen table and you look at it every single day, knowing that you need to do something, but you can't throw it away because you haven't decided what you're doing yet. And all of this information is right there in front of them. So they're going to call you to represent them. So what you're going to do is you have knowledge of your market. In Colorado Springs right now, it's taking 29 showings to sell a listing. You guys know that, you work in it. You put that number in, you tell them what you can get them on the MLS. You tell them what Open Door told you that they would pay you for the house. And then you also tell them that right now that's a 12% fee. And they're going to get all of this information. And then when you sit down, you say, hey, you know, I brought you 6 cash offers today. The highest cash offer would net you $202,000. I think I can get you an extra $50,000 on the MLS. Let's talk about what's best for you and your situation, and I'll show you how I'm going to sell it.
Okay, I want to see everybody's face. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that awesome? What a good tool.
Yeah, so if you have your own investors and you get a cash offer from them, we have a way for you to actually add their offer into. So it was actually Wendy that asked for that. So I'm waiting to see her face because I put it in there for her. I built it.
She spelled that for me. That is so awesome. I freaking love it. Okay, so yeah.
Here is where your agent resources is, guys. It'll take you to the agent vault. You just sign up, you get it all free included in this partnership. So that's where you'll find all your cash offer marketing in there. That's how you find it. There's also a lot of information about institutional buyers in there. So we do have 32 of the major institutions on our back end. So this is your Invitation Homes, your Mainstay, those sort of buyers are in our system. They're much fewer because there are only 32 of them than, you know, the mom and pops. However, sometimes you'll get a cash offer and a consumer will have read a news article and said, is this one of those big institutions that's driving up house prices? Tell me you haven't heard this story. Really good information is that actually of all of the investment purchases in the United States, only 3% are made by institutions. 97% are done by mom and pops that are 1 to 20 doors. But you'll have information about each institution. So you can talk to, hey, this is a low income provider that is offering on this house. And here is their information. So we do have all of that in the agent resources. We also have a Facebook community group. You guys go in and join it because you can ask questions directly to our CEO. He posts in it every day because I don't do social media. Any questions?
Yeah, Adrian's asking what they charge, but this is free. This is free.
Yeah.
Free to you. So, and they make their money. How do you, maybe explain how you guys make your money, and then people will know why they get it for free.
Yeah, so there's 2 different ways that we make our money. Number one is Fidelity National Financial bought us last year. So we are owned by Fidelity National Financial. And so when we open title with Fidelity. And so Fidelity is driving title, and that is one way that we are compensated. The other way that we are compensated is we are the buy-side agent on the transaction. Now, remember, I told you we already signed a BPA with our buyers that we're going to be paid 3%. That is how we are paid. So at no point will I ask you for a credit card. At no point will I say I'm taking part of your commission. We are not passing costs on to consumers. This partnership brings this to you completely for free.
Right. So we're not representing the cash buyer.
You are representing the listing.
Right.
You are the listing agent in this, and that is the side that you tell us what your commission is, and we underwrite it into the deal.
Right. Okay. Awesome. Patricia.
Yes, my question is, do we need to have the listing agreement signed in order to present the cash offers? How am I going to present the cash offers? For example,
You do not have to have a listing agreement signed to represent a cash offer. However, if you would like to, you absolutely can. We actually, in our agent resources, we have like a temporary allows me to go gather cash offers. Some states like you to do that. We operate nationally, so we do offer that in there. Some brokers require you to at least get a temporary listing agreement to go gather these cash offers. We don't require it, but we do offer that tool in there if it's something you want to use.
so if I have a prospect that he wants to sell, what do you recommend me to do?
I would recommend you to enter his address into our cash offer site, go get Open Door, Offer Pad, and Homeward, and then book a listing presentation with him. You're going to bring these cash offers, you're going to talk about them, and you're going to talk about how much money you can make them on the MLS and let him make the decision about what's best for him.
Okay.
Yeah.
And my last question, how we can advertise this, like running ads?
Yeah, so there's several different ways. And if you guys want some resourcing, I have some great resources. We have some partnerships in place with Phone Animal that get you a discounted price. If you want to make, I think, and I'm going to misquote Andrew. So again, Tech Tuesday, we can hook you up with Andrew too. But I think they make 150,000 cold calls for $1,500 a month. So if you're interested in something like that, we have a partnership in place with them. We have a partnership in place with another company that will farm an area and get emails for you and have AI send out marketing for you. And I think that's like $249 a month. So there are some ways for you to scale this without putting your time in, depending on where you're at in your, I'll say your real estate life cycle. Brand new, under 2 years, I didn't have money to put out. I did a lot of door knocking on my own. In there, we have flyers you can print and leave and door knock. You can go get your farm area, upload it into the agent resources, and you can mail directly out of there. That's brought to you by a partnership with Breakthrough Broker. So the only cost you would pay is the cost of mailing those postcards.
Awesome.
Got it.
Real quick before we answer more questions, for those of you guys that are using Fellow has a cash offer program too, with landing pages and ads that you can run that work really, really well. So now you can actually do that and actually have cash offers. So how exciting is that? Anyway, Bonnie, you have a question?
Yeah, I wanted to find out, what if you have a house that's going in foreclosure? Do you have cash buyers for those?
We do. We do have cash buyers for those. Actually, we did a short sale a few weeks ago. The question is like, is the short sale approved already? Because if it's not approved, you could use our offer to go get it approved. Which is a nice thing, but we do need to know the information. How far is it into the foreclosure?
Well, we're the bank, my husband and I.
Oh,
The
you
property,
are.
we owner financed the property and the people barked on it. Haven't paid it since April of last year. So it's in foreclosure and it's fixing to go on the market. That's what I needed, the option block. That's what I needed to find out.
Absolutely. You could put it in, give us the information we need on it, and then we'll underwrite it, get it out to the investors.
Okay. All right.
Man,
good.
I'm sorry you got to go through that. That is
Well,
not fun.
we've already been through the hard part. And in fact, the people that bought it, he's been arrested. He's in jail. He's a felon.
Ooh,
So we didn't know that at the time. So,
ooh.
but you know, we made good money off of it and we can't complain, but I just wanted to find out. We don't know what condition the inside of the house is yet because she has till the end of the month to get out, and then we can go in and find out what the condition is on the inside.
I would say what you could do is you could just give us that information and they could plan it for a full
and by
and
tomorrow
tell you
morning.
what it would be on a full gut. So you'll have that information right up front. If you get
Okay.
it, it's not that bad, let us know that too. The one thing is give us timelines in the additional notes, because those timelines are going to inform their feasibility period. If they're not going to be out till the end of the month, they're not going to ask for a 5-day inspection period, right? Because you're probably not going to give us access. So
Yeah.
just give us the
Okay.
information. We'll let the buyers know.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Of course.
Jeanette, you have a question?
Yeah, I got a couple, hopefully real quick ones. If you've got a house that needs to be like a fix and flip situation,
Yep.
Does the investor give us the listing back when it goes back on the market?
So I have a project doc to work on that for the new year. We can ask them that. We don't have an official program yet. Is the SCA Southern California?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you guys are you are the absolute reason we're building this product. Southern California has asked for it over and over again. So we are working on it. The one thing I can say is we do actually dispo houses for some of the institutions. And so it is likely we're able to give you one of those listings in return if we can't give you a listing for this particular property that you would submit.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the other question is there a fee to the seller for this, or is it, I'm sure it's already built in, but is there any sort of a fee to them?
There is no service fee involved to the seller. So some of the major players in the cash offer marketplace is your Open Door, your Offer Pad, Homeward, they all have a service fee, right? We do not have a service fee, so they will not pay anything more than what you see there.
Sweet. Okay. And then the last thing is, I believe that you said that you have a landing page for us or something that we can advertise.
Yes, if you go into that agent resources in the agent vault, if you go in the cash offer marketing area, there is a cash offer landing page you can set up. It's very, very user friendly. You can edit everything in there and get it put out. Very easy to use.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
So one part that I didn't cover very clearly in the presentation is we do not have a direct to consumer product. So we really believe in the relationship between the agent and the consumer. So you will not see anything on billboards or anything like that where we are trying to go around the agent. If for some reason somebody finds their way to our platform and requests a cash offer and they are not an agent, we actually would send them back to an agent within our network because we don't work directly with consumers in any way, shape, or form.
That's cool.
Yeah, we just don't believe in cutting out the agent. There's no good representation unless somebody is an agent themselves. I mean, I worked for Open Door. That's how I got connected with Wendy originally. I oversaw their Buy with Open Door program. So I've seen them try to go around agents. I also see the disaster that it brings. It's not good for the consumer, in our opinion. So we will never have a direct to consumer product.
Awesome. That's good to know. Isabel.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, I was just a little bit confused regarding the service fee. If a homeowner accepts a cash offer, are you saying that there's no service fee for the seller to accept that cash offer?
No
If
service
they
fee.
accept it?
Yeah, no service fee. So it's just commissions.
Yeah, they
It's just
make their money on commission, and the cash buyer pays their commission. So
Right.
there's no fee.
This is always a confusing point for people. We are not the principal on these homes. We are the buy side agent. So we don't charge a service fee. We don't have a holding fee. We don't have any of those things that we have to monetize in order to offset those costs, like you'll see with Open Door Offer Pad. So there is no service fee to the sellers to accept these.
Oh, okay. And you guys do work California, right? Northern California?
Northern California just launched like days ago. So we are in the whole Bay Area, Sacramento, all the way up California's coast now. So yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much then. Appreciate it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Michelle, good morning.
Good morning. Can you clarify what that 12% fee was though?
Oh, yeah. So if you go get an iBuyer, so you want to be like an extra great agent, you go to Open Door, you go to OfferPad, you go to Homeward, they're going to give you a service fee. They're going to tell you what the service fee is. Open Doors varies, OfferPads varies, Homewards is 16.5%, but they can get up to 11% of that back if they do a buy before you sell. So they're going to give you that number. Just input it in the sheet so that you can show everything in one place. We don't charge a service fee. So you won't see service fees on ours.
So are they, I mean, how do you compete with them? They clearly think that they can charge a premium. So are they, do you advise, like you said, showing all the different people? And then where do you guys stack up at the end?
Yeah, so we do advise that you show everything. A lot of times what some of the iBuyers will do is they'll make the offer look higher. So it might come in at 420, we come at 380, but their 12% fee means that the net is less than us. So we do stack up against them. We don't send out offers that are super duper low. We will just not send them. We'll push back on our buyers and we'll say we're not sending that offer. So we have seen some people try to sign up for the platform and then want to pay pennies on the dollar. And we just say, no, we're not that platform.
And then how do people know about you? How does the buyer know about you?
Realtors.
Yeah, real estate agents like you guys. So we do have a referral program. So they will, we do pay 25% of the buy side commission if any investors you refer buy on our platform. So a lot of agents will say, why will I give you my investor? Because I get a full 3% when I represent them. And I say, absolutely do your job as an agent. Continue to show them everything you see on the MLS, door knock doors, do everything you do. But all we are is an off-market listing generation tool. So we can bring them deals you wouldn't see, and you get some transaction cost on that. The other thing, remember I told you guys, we train our investors to buy based on yield. So I don't know what market you're in, but I'm going to pretend you're in the Seattle market.
Yeah.
Seattle has not seen an 8 cap for a decade on any like large scale. Tennessee sits between a 10 and a 12 cap right now. So what we train them to do is if they're like, hey, I can't buy in Seattle and make the money I want, we say, have you looked in Tennessee? We have all of these partnerships in place to help you manage, do all of these things and be successful. And when they buy in Tennessee, you also receive that 25% of the buy side commission. The other thing is the Fidelity National Financial Partnership brought a lot of investors to us, right? So they work with investors every single day, and they actually own 1031 IPX exchange. And so all of those 1031 exchange people are on our platform. They need to buy quickly. They need to close quickly. So that is where we get all of our investors without doing a whole lot of marketing exterior through our networks.
So being in Seattle, how many Seattle people, your clients from Seattle buy Seattle, or is it out of town people that buy Seattle? Who's buying Seattle? Is anybody buying Seattle? Because I'm not seeing them.
Yeah, there's not a lot in Seattle. So like full disclosure, I actually sold real estate in the Seattle area. My husband was a Seattle police officer for 27 years before we moved to Colorado. So that is where I started my business. I know that you guys have this new variable excise tax that is killing investors that need to double close, which is why a lot of the iBuyers is pulled out of the Seattle area. Some of the large institutions are buying in the Seattle area because rents are stable there. So they're good caps and they don't have to double close. They just close once. So they only pay the excise tax once. So we do have some buyers in the Seattle area. They're institutional buyers mostly, or long-term rental mom and pops. We don't see a lot of fix and flip in the Seattle market. There are still some, but the numbers have to be good enough to cover that crazy excise tax that's going on there.
And then how much, if you're in a metropolitan area, how valuable are the airport properties?
I don't know the answer to that.
Okay.
I guess it's dependent on it.
People aren't looking for that.
Yeah, I don't know the answer on that one.
All right, thank you. This is
Yes.
Cool. Can you tell me, like, I don't know if you did this, it's kind of indirectly, but can you just go through a quick scenario of the conversation, how you're bringing it up to somebody, both just a conversation starter, or like I have a gal who has a kind of a crappy house, and she might be a good person to practice on this situation. So how do you bring it up?
Is the house already on the market?
It's very clunky. No, nothing's on, but I mean, without sounding super clunky, like, how do you do it?
Yeah. So what I might say is hey, you know, like getting the house ready to go on the market is a lot of work. And it looks like there's some deferred maintenance in place. Like, what are our timelines for doing the deferred maintenance? You know, do we know what the costs are going to be? If not, I could go gather some cash offers. There's some cash offer players in this area. And let's compare the two between what it would cost you to get it on the market versus just cash without any repairs. That's how I would bring that up. I had some of those houses too, where you were like, oh my God, even with putting the money in, this is going to be a nightmare to sell, right? Now you have a solution for that. That I will tell you right now that the only cash offer marketing that we are currently doing in the Seattle market is my old brokerage. So so I know that there is a huge market because we just launched there October 31st. So you could definitely capitalize on it in that area. And they are in the South. They are in the Tacoma area. So.
Awesome. Nicole.
Hi. Okay. Michelle, first of all, check your DMs. I sent you a message. And then I can't find the Facebook group that you were talking about.
Okay, so if you go into agent resources, it says, it'll be on the left-hand side of your screen. It says community, join our private Facebook group to connect, and you just click the join now button.
So agent services.
Agent
resources, agent resources.
Okay, I'm here. Thank you.
I can actually.
Blanca.
Hello. So I just had a question. So if getting offers or because it says that you would fill out what Open Door has offered and you're uploading that, correct? So does Open Door also reach our clients, or do you know if they would do anything like that? I mean, I would just hate for data without me and having to list an agreement.
They have an agent group. So they do work through agents. They just it's cheaper for them not to pay an agent commission. So they would prefer for your consumer to come directly to them ahead of time. But they do have an agent group. It's headed by Will Holmes. I worked for them for a number of years, guys. So like, I know that once something comes in through an agent channel, they don't go around that relationship because that would be the kiss of death. But they would prefer for your consumer to come to them directly. So they do a lot of marketing outside of you. We lean into you, right? Like we can't work with your consumer. We only work with agents. And so that's the big difference. So no, they won't start marketing your person if you as the agent submit it. OfferPad also has a really cool program right now where if they buy your house, buy the house you submit, you also get to list it. So you get to put a sign in the yard. I think they make you take a 1% list fee to do it, but your sign is in the yard, which is something we're working on as well.
Awesome.
All
Herb,
right.
you have a question?
Yeah, so I had a question on a lot of feedback that I get from homeowners that go down the cash offer path, just in general, is that people will offer them a high price, then do like this quasi inspection thing, and then they say, oh no, you know, once they kind of got them looped in, and then they say, oh, they start backpedaling on the price a lot. So what's your at what point do you have a solid offer presented?
Yeah, so this is a great question. And I am going to tell you guys, this would be like the bane of my existence at Open Door. When they would offer on a consumer's home, they give them a spread of $100,000, okay? And then like they do the inspection and your consumer is like, my house is clean, it's ready to go. And then they're like, oh no, you have $50,000 worth of repairs. And I'm like, not a chance, right?
Yeah.
Then they would adjust that price down. So we only have 4% of properties fall out of escrow. And those 4% are typically the homeowner didn't know that a major system was failed, right? They get in there and they didn't know they needed a new roof and they can't afford to eat the cost of a roof. So they have to pull back on that offer. The part where I told you additional notes and actual pictures, that means that we don't typically adjust any of these prices down. We are already underwriting for all of those repair costs in our thing. So most of the time we go in and we do an inspection and then we move to close. 4% of the time it ends up falling out. And that is just like siding has failed, roof has failed, HVAC doesn't work and the consumer didn't know it. Those are like major things that would cause it to fall out, but we're not coming in with a high offer and adjusting down.
That's awesome. Good to know. Good to know.
That was such a good question though.
Yeah, there was a question in the chat. Is there a max? Like, is there a max? You know, do you guys do $1 million homes? Do you do $12 million homes in Mount Charleston?
So there is no max. We have a couple of luxury buyers that actually like to buy the high-end houses and then flip them. So there is luxury flippers in our system. Southern California, you guys, there isn't a house in Southern California under $1 million or it's gone in like 10 seconds, right? If you have a house in Southern California under $1 million, email it to me directly so that I could get it out to my investors and call them and look like a hero. So it is market dependent. There are markets where we sell houses under $100,000 and there are markets that the houses are all over $1 million. So I suggest you put them in there. And we will do our best to get you an offer back on it. If it's a luxury house in perfect condition, sometimes we do have people who will buy those. There's not as many luxury rentals. I'm probably the only landlord in the world that rents out their $1 million house because I wanted a new house and the market was bad. But there are some mom and pops that also play in the luxury world. So there are no bottom limits and there are no top limits. Just know that the higher the price with the less yield, the less likely you are to get a large number of offers in.
Awesome. All right. Sheila. I think we answered.
Yes, I'm here. So I think she answered the question, but I was more concerned about when you put your client's prospect's information into those 3 platforms to get a cash offer, that somehow that company would market to them.
Yeah, they don't because they can't afford to lose that, right? They can't afford to lose the business that agents are bringing them right now.
Oh.
Will they in the future? I can't guarantee because I once thought that they absolutely would never do that. And then, you know, like it's hard to tell. When you put it into our platform, we'll never go direct to consumer. And actually the only information you give us is the address. We don't collect any of the additional information.
Well, but that's all you really need. You know,
that's all I need, except I actually have a system in place where we watch to make sure, like if our investors try to go door knock that and they ended up closing, we actually have a system that polls what happened to that property and we would go after them for commissions. It's never happened. But we do have a system in place. unfortunately, like there's always going to be that edge case where at some point in the process, that's going to happen and we're going to have to go after commissions. But they're very, very few and far between. When I worked with Open Door, it didn't happen very often.
But
So
it did happen. It sounds like it happened, but not often.
right, it happened, but it has never happened, knocked on wood, at Easy Street. But again, our investors are professional investors and they really do appreciate the tools that we bring them. And we would definitely go after a commission and shut them down from using our system.
Okay. And you said you're working on a platform where if they buy a house, that you as the listing agent will get to sell the house again, their house
Yeah,
when they want to
we
sell.
are working on a program to allow investors to opt in. The problem is, if you guys know mom and pop investors, a lot of them have a brother who works with them who's a real estate agent to cut down on their costs, just build the houses. So we're trying to work on a program to funnel in listings and funnel them back out. It may not be the same house, but we are working on a program to get you a listing, to get a sign in the neighborhood, right? Because I know how important that is to get your sign up.
Awesome.
Okay.
All right, Dion, you had a question in the chat. How am I using this for my business? So Fellow has a cash offers program that does postcards and freaking all the marketing that you want and the landing page. So because we're already using Fellow, that's kind of what we use, but it sounds like you could do that right through this platform too. Anyway, and then I just saw a thing where they got 57 listings in 2.5 months, sending a text message to these people. So remind me of VIP. I'll pull it up and put that link in there. So you can, because you are using Fellow too, right?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. So this is perfect for it, because now you can like feel good about marketing that cash offers and actually having cash offers. So do you have more questions?
I do. I have, are you in Illinois?
We just launched Illinois. So we are still building an investor base there, but we do have a small investor base in Illinois that is offering, yes.
Thank you.
So one thing I will tell you is you guys may end up getting text messages from me from time to time. Like I think last week I sent out message to all of our Dallas agents, letting them know I had new investors signed that had 40 million in capital to spend by the end of the year. And this is what they're looking for. The idea is that you're in your market, you're an agent. You might already know of something that could be coming up, or somebody's been thinking about selling, and then you can take it to them and say, hey, I think I have a cash buyer for this. Let's get it put in. So I sometimes will send you messages to say, hey, this is what I'm looking for in this market. If you have it, input it. And then we're going to get cash offers out to you real quick.
Jennifer, is there any way that you can send me a list of everywhere you guys are so that I could post it in our group? So, because now everybody's putting their area in the chat.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. I will send you a link to a map, like you'll be able to see the map. But basically the whole smile of the United States we cover. We don't cover the Dakotas. We don't cover Montana right now.
Michigan?
I think we are in Michigan. I'll have to double check. Yeah, let me double check. But the DMV has been the big one. It has been an ask, not even kidding, 96 times in the last 2 months. So it's on Dan's list. Dan and I were just talking about it. So we're working on getting that market open.
That is rad. John, last question.
Just a geographic question. Are you doing parts of LA County?
LA, Los Angeles?
Los Angeles, yeah.
Yes, sir. We are active in Los Angeles. We have been for a year.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so real quick, Jennifer, thank you so much. You are so awesome to hop in here and do this for me. I'm putting a link in the chat. Vanessa, that is how you hop into the VIP room. You just get signed up. It's where we actually press the buttons together. So that is actually where we're heading right now. But thank you guys for being on the call. And Jennifer, you rock. Yeah, send me a list of everywhere you are. And you guys click the link, get your free account, and just check it out. Start playing around with it and go get some listings. All right?
Yeah.
2025, we're gonna thrive. Let's go.
Wendy has my cell phone number, so if you have any concerns, let her know and I will get to you guys quickly.
Jamie doesn't like that. We're gonna thrive in 2025. Like,
I love it. I'm
thank
all
you.
about the slogans, so I can say it.
I need a jingle. I need a jingle. All right. See you guys.
Thank you.
Have a
Bye.
good day. Bye-bye.